Hi, I'm Mounjaro. I'm an online counsellor, writer, and trainer. I specialise in eating disorders, disordered eating, body image, and weight stigma. And I'm here today to talk a little bit about food noise. This is a term that has come up more recently, I think, as weight loss injections have become quite popular. I see the term thrown around a lot, but I don't necessarily see people breaking down what it actually means. So I've written a blog post. I've been doing a few things on this recently because I've also been designing some training as well for this, for counsellors and therapists. So if you're interested in food noise for yourself, or if you're a counsellor or therapist and you're interested in learning a little bit more, then I just wanted to do a little deep dive now. So, what words do you think? Just a little reflective thing for you to do, if you an offering if you want to. What like a word let's do like a word association thing. If I say food noise, what do you think? What words come up for you when I say food noise? Don't overthink it too much. Just think to yourself. Now, obviously, I can't know what you're thinking, but I'm going to anticipate some of what you might be thinking, because I'm thinking that food noise is often an argument in your head. Food noise can be cravings. Food noise can be, should I eat that? Should I not eat that? Food noise might be, I need this. Food noise might be, I'm really, really hungry, I have to eat now. Food noise could be, there's loads that this could be, isn't there? But I'm thinking that what the problem is the distressing feelings that come with that. The anxiety, the fear, the shame maybe might come with those feelings. I think there's a lot in food noise that is really, really important to exploring yourself. So instead of just saying food noise, going, I'm experiencing food noise, or I want to take weight loss injections because apparently they stop the food noise. What does that actually mean? Now, arguably, some people say that that's also hunger. That actually food noise is hunger, because when you take weight loss injections, it's an appetite suppressant. So it literally is like getting rid of your hunger. So some people will say it reduces the amount they eat, it reduces maybe binges that they've had. There isn't any evidence yet to say that weight loss injections should be used for binge eating, certainly not for any other eating disorders either. We haven't really got enough research based on weight loss injections since they've been used for weight loss. They've been used for quite a long time for diabetes, and that's different because it's a different dose. But using for weight loss, there's a lot more research to come. So far in the UK, weight loss injections are only given for 2 years on the NHS because they don't have longer term research beyond that, which arguably is a concern in itself for taking them. What we do know, and what I've seen from people talking about this online and in practice, is that food noise does come back. It's going to come back when you stop, as will weight gain. Research is showing so far that there will be weight gain when you come off weight loss injections. So what's happening is a temporary fix. Now, it may be a temporary fix that you completely choose and you want to do, and it's always your choice, and that's like, you have every right to make that choice. But sometimes food noise is coming back by the end of the week before they take the next dose. Sometimes sometimes the weight loss injections are just serving to mask them for a bit, and then it comes back. In my view, that means it's still there underneath. It's covering it up, and it's going to be there, and it's going to come back eventually. I always feel like I'm really bursting like people's bubbles, and people are going to get like really annoyed with me when I say, well, people do get defensive about this. I realize that weight loss injections are, seen to be life-saving and amazingly life-changing for so many people. So I'm not a popular person when I go and start sort of saying negative things about them. But back to food noise. Let's keep the focus on food noise anyway. So food noise, for me, hearing hearing about and really thinking about the things that are involved in food noise is something that I work with all the time when I'm working with people with disordered eating and eating disorders. So arguably food noise could be a part of disordered eating. And because there is such a lot of unrecognised and undiagnosed disordered eating in our society, because not everyone ticks the boxes of the eating disorders, loads of people fall outside of that. There'll be a whole range of people with a whole spectrum of disordered eating. And that means because they haven't got a tick box eating disorder, that means that they could end up on weight loss injections as well, which anybody taking an appetite suppressant when they have disordered eating is generally never going to be a very good idea, because it's actually just going to play into the cycle of disordered eating. So I would really implore people who experience food noise to really dig deeper into what that might be, or if you're a professional working with people, be curious as to what food noise actually means, because it could really give ideas of what could be worked on instead. So for instance, if food noise can sometimes be part of like arguments in your head, you feel like a devil and an angel on your shoulder arguing about if you should eat something, if you shouldn't, is it right, should I eat this? And then also the critical voices that come in, like critical thoughts that come in to say you shouldn't have eaten that, and probably call you a whole bunch of names and probably tell you that you're a failure and useless, and then you might feel, you might feel ashamed from that as well, which is a very, very strong emotion. In binge eating, this is often something that keeps a binge cycle going as well, because when someone binge eats and then falls into the failure and the shame of it afterwards, it takes you back into the restriction again that keeps the cycle going. So for a binge, it might be, oh my God, I hate myself, this is terrible, what have I done? I am starting my diet again on Monday, I'm starting restricting again, I'm not going to eat this. May not be as obvious as those thoughts, but that's what happens. And then that isn't sustainable, or then comes the cravings, the food noise. That's where the food noise might come in. Just eat it, have this, don't have this. And then ultimately that for some people can lead to breaking the diet, having a binge, whatever that might be. There are huge grey areas between dieting, chronic dieting, disordered eating disorders, although eating disorders have kind of proper criteria to it. But I'd say that there are so many more people that would benefit from help for disordered eating, who actually may not need to go on to weight loss injections, because the problem might not actually be weight. If you're going through the NHS and you're prescribed these medications, I'm not really talking about it then. I'm more talking about people who perhaps aren't at a higher weight, or just want to, are just worried about their weight, or even in a smaller body. I mean, I know that people are taking these and will be taking them. We see celebrities, influencers, people who are not in larger bodies are taking weight loss injections as well. So if you're not eligible on the NHS and you really want to take them, it might just be worth pausing and thinking, is there something else that needs looking at here? Is this something that might be able to be done therapeutically? As in, do we need to explore underlying body image issues? Do we need to explore your underlying relationship with food? Because your relationship with food builds from like when you're a child, and we have all these influences of diet culture and weight stigma and how you should eat and how you shouldn't eat and what's normal eating and all this kind of stuff. There's such a lot to unpack, and you have all the influences on your body image potentially as well going on, and also living in a world which says thin is healthy and you must be this, and living with weight stigma, weight biases, weight discrimination. There is so much pressure, and I completely understand why people take weight loss injections, because there is such a lot of pressure in the world and such a lot of weight stigma, and it's understandable wanting to get out of that. But also weight loss injections have their limitations, because you might not be able to get them on the NHS, you might not be able to afford them, they're quite expensive. You might not be able to, you might not want to have the side effects. If the side effects come along with them, you might need to come off for various different reasons in the future. I've written a blog post on, stopping weight loss injections, because that can be a challenge in itself. Having also said that, if you're taking weight loss injections, it's helpful to do this work alongside of it, because what people say, not just with injections, but with like weight loss surgeries as well. And so people often say that if they lose weight, their brain doesn't really catch up with it. Like their mind is still, I would theorize maybe that that's because there's probably some experiences that they've had when they were younger about their body size that have stuck with them, because they say, I still feel like that fat girl at school. Well, okay, that's where the work needs to be done as well then. And there's maybe some work that can be done whilst you're on weight loss injections. So I'm not here to tell anyone not to take them, but I'm saying if you're taking them, that's actually an opportunity as well to explore what else there is and explore body acceptance as well in other ways, because your body's maybe is going to change. Your weight is going to potentially change, and that your minds may not be processing that in the same way. And it's always helpful to be learning about body image and body acceptance, I think, and diet culture and weight stigma, the world that we live in, because then it gives you more of a chance of being able to help yourself on the psychological side, as well as if you're on weight loss injections as well. So wherever you're at with weight loss injections, food noise, whatever, I suppose that my message is to really be more curious about that, because in my work in disordered eating, which I think has a huge overlap with this is often the work that needs to be done. It's about going, looking into the past, looking at your relationships in your whole life. It's like a whole person approach to it, because your relationship with food and your body is not just about food. People often say, actually, we don't talk about food like in every single session. It's not that specific, because in the way that I work, there's so much more to it than that. So if you're interested in having online counselling, then please do get in touch. I offered a 15-minute intro call where we can have a chat and see if I might be able to help and if we might work together. If you're someone who's looking for some more reading and learning, I've got various blogs and things on my website, a few different things about weight loss injections. And in those as well, there's also links to podcasts that I've been on talking about it as well, and also training as well for professionals if you want to have further training to explore more about weight loss injections, food noise, weight stigma, and more. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.